Ever wonder how our ancestors, without modern technology, managed to build some magnificent megastructures? Let's drop those alien theories and give credit where it's due. Our ancestors, despite their primitive lifestyles, were innovative, ingenious, and surprisingly capable. Join me as we take a time machine back to the medieval era, unearthing awe-inspiring projects, many of which you never knew existed. It's about time we celebrate the unseen architects of history. First up, Mont Saint Michel. Even the name has an impressive ring to it, no? Mont Saint Michel is a picturesque island monastery off the coast of France. Don't be surprised if you've seen posters or paintings of this iconic monastery without knowing where it was or who built it. This little gem has quite the history to boast about. Imagine the audacity of those ambitious medieval builders who decided the best place to put their towering abbey was in the middle of the sea. Now that takes cojones. See, back in the day when Mont Saint Michel was being built, the architects faced a challenge that still troubles engineers and architects today: tides. Yes, those pesky waves just kept coming and going, making construction just a bit more, well, wet and complicated than usual. But that was not to put a stop to these intrepid monks. Oh no, our fearless builders were undeterred. They cleverly devised a system of supporting columns and sturdy walls to withstand the relentless assault of the tides. Now, if all this is sounding very peaceful and serene to you, let me mention the giant defensive walls, because nothing says peaceful monastery like a fortress to fend off unwelcome visitors. The medieval architects took no chances and built formidable walls to protect their little slice of heaven. I mean, can you blame them? Who wouldn't want a breathtaking view while also having the option to pour boiling oil on potential intruders? But let's not forget the pièce de résistance, the awe-inspiring Gothic architecture. Mont Saint Michel boasts soaring spires, intricate stone carvings, and majestic stained glass windows. It's a masterpiece of medieval craftsmanship that continues to leave visitors in awe. Clearly, these medieval monks wanted their home to be a little closer to heaven and were certainly not afraid to aim high. Excuse the pun. Number 2. Conduit of London. While it's true that the medieval era wasn't exactly famed for the ingenuity of its toilet system, with most people relieving themselves in giant communal holes, the London Conduit is proof that, while piping stuff out of your house might have been a problem, they did have a solution for piping things in. Yes, the London Conduit was an engineering marvel that supplied water to Londoners long before the days of indoor plumbing and water treatment plants. Built in the 13th century, this 12-mile-long water supply system was a true feat of medieval engineering. Imagine building a water supply system using only lead piping and brick construction. Today, most of us can't even build a shed without the help of power tools and YouTube tutorials. Maintaining such a massive infrastructure project would have been a monumental task for the medieval workers. They probably had to spend hours every day checking for leaks and repairing damaged sections. It's no wonder that the conduit eventually became obsolete and was eventually replaced by newer, more advanced water supply systems. But let's not forget the true legacy of the conduit: the joy it brought to Londoners who finally had access to clean water. It must have been a real thrill to turn on the tap and have access to water without venturing out to the local well. Nowadays, we take access to clean water for granted, but let's not forget that it was those who came before us that had to work out how to make that a reality. So for everyone calling the medieval period the Dark Ages, next time you're sipping on a glass of tap water, think about raising a toast to the London Conduit and the medieval workers who made it all possible. Number 3. The Great Wall of China. Now, contrary to popular belief, you can't see the Great Wall of China from space, but that does nothing to take away from how impressive this medieval structure remains to this day. History is full of impressive and influential walls: Hadrian's, Constantinople, Berlin. But perhaps none have had such a major impact on their local geopolitics as the Great Wall of China. This wall certainly deserves its status as a mega-project. It's no secret that building the wall was no small feat. After all, it stretches over 13,000 miles and spans multiple dynasties. The builders faced many challenges such as the rugged terrain, difficult climate, and limited resources, but they persevered, constructing watchtowers and other defensive structures to keep out invading forces. While some sections of the wall date back as far as the 7th century BC, yes, BC, the most well-known parts of the structure are from the Ming dynasty, constructed during the 13 and 1400s. The wall served as a defensive measure, a way of controlling trade along the Silk Road, and as a way of controlling immigration. A symbol of a bygone era, a reminder of the lengths people have been and always will be willing to go to protect their homes and families. Number 4. Castel del Monte. Some medieval mega-projects remain more mysterious than others. Take Castel del Monte, for example. Located in southern Italy, this octagonal wonder has puzzled historians for centuries. Was it a defensive fortress, a hunting lodge, a place for Emperor Frederick II to kick back and relax? The theories are endless. Despite the enduring mystery, one thing is for certain: Castel del Monte is a truly impressive feat of medieval engineering. One to stop this Dark Ages nonsense dead in its tracks. With its unique octagonal design, Gothic windows, and marble floors, it's easy to imagine the grandeur that must have surrounded this fortress in its heyday. While not the easiest megastructure to defend, I'm sure the guards enjoyed the view from their watchtowers. Number 5. Land reclamation in the Netherlands. There's an old saying that says, "God made the world, but the Dutch made the Netherlands." And while I can't confirm the first part, the second part is definitely true. You see, back in the medieval period, they were tired of all that pesky water getting in the way of their farming and city building, so they came up with a brilliant solution and a true mega project: land reclamation. Using innovative engineering techniques like windmills, the medieval Dutch pumped out water from low-lying areas and built massive dikes to hold back the sea. The results? A whole lot of new land to work with. This enterprising spirit is typical of the Dutch, and the expansion of their territory into the surrounding sea didn't stop there. Following the success of the expansion during the medieval period, the Dutch went on to build one of the farthest sprawling empires the world has ever seen. Albeit this empire is viewed with less than fond memories by pretty much everyone except the Dutch. Talk about too much of a good thing. Number 6. Lincoln Cathedral. If you thought mega churches were a modern phenomenon, think again. Just take a glance at Lincoln Cathedral. One of the biggest cathedrals in Europe, it's a true wonder of medieval architecture. But it really begs the question, how on earth did they build this massive thing without cranes or trucks? First off, the builders had to deal with the sheer size of the cathedral. It sure as hell wasn't easy to get those stones up so high. And speaking of stones, the builders had to transport them from miles away to the construction site. No Amazon Prime free shipping here, folks. But despite these challenges, they managed to create a true masterpiece. The stained glass windows alone are enough to take your breath away. And those flying buttresses? Genius. They managed to support the weight of the building without adding extra bulk to the walls. Just incredible. Seriously, we need to start giving medieval architects the credit they deserve. Now, if you're enjoying exploring these medieval megastructures as much as I am, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to unearth more of history's best-kept secrets. Number 7. Krak de Chevaliers. Krak de Chevaliers truly is the stuff of epic legend, the medieval castle of your dreams. Nestled unassumingly away in the hills of Syria, this mighty fortress was built to withstand anything an enemy could throw at it. And believe me, they certainly tried. The castle was besieged numerous times by a range of attackers, but thanks to its impressive defensive features, it held strong. A major reason behind the construction of this medieval megastructure was its incredibly strategic location. Its hilltop position makes it the perfect vantage point for spotting any potential attackers, as well as providing it with natural superiority over its surroundings. In the 11th century, Kurdish troops were stationed there by the Madasids, making it their home. Later in the year 1142, Raymond II, Count of Tripoli, granted the castle to the Knights Hospitaller, who were a religious military order. The order continued to possess the castle for over a century until it finally fell in 1271. A second phase of building took place in the 13th century, but as the medieval era waned on, the mega-fortress lost its importance in the region and fell into disuse for several centuries until it was rediscovered in the 19th century. So, whether it was the ancient Romans with their grand aqueducts and amphitheaters, the Mayan pyramids, or the grandeur of Versailles, there's just something about a good mega-project that we humans seem to love. Are there any epic megastructures missing from our list? Let me know in the comments down below and we'll include it in a future video. I'll catch you next time, and thanks for watching today's episode of History Unveiled.